Welcome, stay with me as we expand our knowledge with videos from all over the internet that's going to make you question reality. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also share with your friends, and also click on the notification bell icon so that any content that I post, you will be the first to get it. Let's just start.
This is a World War III breaking news update. We now have satellite visual confirmation that we indeed have a large amassing of air power at the Diego Garcia Air Base in the Indian Ocean. We have 7 B-2 stealth nuclear-capable bombers. 3 are exposed, 4 presumably in hangars, as well as numerous aerial refueling vehicles and numerous other auxiliary assets within the region or en route. These are ostensibly for the purpose of targeting Iran's nuclear facilities.
What?
But the jury is still out on precisely what their purpose is meant to serve. Is this just strategic posturing, or are they actually going to do it? Most seasoned military analysts are of the belief that this is it. In fact, I was talking to a Washington insider today, and I will publish that interview tomorrow. He says that not only does Washington believe that the Iranians already have nuclear weapons, despite what Tulsi Gabbard has recently stated in her intelligence brief. In fact, she contradicted herself numerous times when giving that testimony, if you can call it that. In fact, they believe that they have nuclear weapons already. Now, whether or not they do, whether or not they should, these are dilemmas and debates that can be had at another time. The fact of the matter is, they're preparing, and they've been amassing bombs in Israel for the longest time, ostensibly for the purpose of targeting Lebanon, Syria, and the Gaza Strip. But the amount of ordnance that the Israelis have been amassing, and the MOABs that have been given to the Israelis as well, signal that it very well could be the case that Israel is going to first move in through this new neutralized airspace that has been gained by the fall of Syria. They'll be able to fly their fighter jets through here and into Iran. Now, of course, they could go through Jordan, they could go through Iraq, they could go through Saudi Arabia. But then those countries risk retaliation.
Have you guys been hearing about the different type of animals that are being found in the most peculiar places? Here's one over here. This black bear was found in Destin, Florida, swimming in the beach all by itself. No parents, no mom and dad, just by itself. It was a little baby cub. What's going on in Destin, Florida? Here's the most craziest one. Have y'all seen the polar bear that ended up in Texas? What is a polar bear doing in Texas? And do you see how huge this thing is? He was so shaken up he couldn't even get the camera right to videotape it. But a polar bear in Texas? What is happening here, y'all? What is going on? And do you see how huge that thing is? It towers over the car, and it's not even standing. And here's one of the most peculiar ones, y'all. There was a penguin found in Australia coming from Antarctica. That's over 2,000 miles of travel, y'all. How did this penguin make it there by itself? Emperor penguins are one of my favorite animals. They're always sleek and styling, you know, they got a tux on, so they stay fresh. But 2,000 miles to Australia? And what we know about Antarctica now, right? It wasn't always a frozen tundra. Does that mean that penguins at once were a tropical type of animal? If at one point in time there was no snow on this planet, does that mean penguins were once a tropical animal? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this, and let's continue to get this shift. Peace out.
This is a real photo of a hotel that has never had a single guest stay in it.
Why?
This is the Rugang Hotel located in North Korea. Now, construction on this hotel started 37 years ago, and it is still not completed. North Korea wanted to build the world's tallest hotel at the time back in 1987. The plan was to put in 3,000 rooms, revolving restaurants, and even a casino. Then in 1992, during the collapse of the Soviet Union, North Korea's economy absolutely tanked, and there was no more funding to complete this massive structure. And at the time, it looked like this: just a giant concrete shell of a building with no windows, nothing on the inside, and not even structurally sound. For the next 16 years, the North Korean government refused refused to acknowledge that this building even existed, and went as far as editing it out of all photos of Pyongyang. At this point, journalists started to call it the Hotel of Doom. Then, in 2008, an Egyptian company that is also North Korea's largest cell phone network paid to have the entire building fitted with a glass exterior so that it at least looked finished, but on the inside, it still remained completely empty. 10 years later, in 2018, North Korea decided to install LED lights across the building, essentially turning it into a massive digital screen. And now at night, it displays propaganda animations and slogans from the government. To this day, it remains the tallest unoccupied building in the world and has yet to have a single guest stay there after 37 years of construction.
What's going on here?
This is what you look like after you come out of the crematorium. You're not ashes. After your bones cool off with this fan, your bones are taken to a grinder, which is over here, that grinds everything up. And then you're turned into that little powder that people call ashes.
Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I need y'all to listen up. Listen up. Them graveyards ain't big enough to fit everybody in them. The graveyard never got bigger. It always been the same for years and decades, bro. It never got even bigger, bro. There are nobody in the graveyards. There are nobody in the graveyards. The minute you leave that cemetery or that graveyard, they take those people, bruh. They re-dig the people back up and take them with them, bruh. And they use them. I'm gonna tell you what they use them for. They use them for shit like this. Chick-fil-A you got right there. You got Burger King right there. Over there you have Wendy's, bruh. I'm gonna tell you this shit, bruh. Even in the fucking grocery stores, they put the shit in the packages, bro. Like, I'm not even...
Well, how true is this? Because this is... I know I'm coughing. But then, how true is this? This is crazy. If it's true, then it's so crazy. Does that mean we are all cannibals? Because I mean, 90% of the population of the earth has tried this before. But then I don't believe that is true. I think this is just a conspiracy. Because it can be true. I mean, people are working hard to get poultry farms and animal rearing and a whole lot of things. I mean, people just create videos to get views and say absurd things to get the clicks. So this is so crazy. Let's get back to the video. But then I don't believe this theory. Let's get back to the video.
Bro, then you got Barbaritos right there, bro. What? I'm trying to tell y'all, trying to put y'all on game, fam. That meat shit is not for you.
Space acts and quietly just do whatever we want.
Oh,
give me sugar.
That's creepy. That's so creepy, Elon. That's creepy.
More.
That's creepy, Elon. Okay, I saw that glitch. Yeah, look at the hands. It's so long. Damn.
So y'all remember when I said that it's certain creatures inside of eggs? And people didn't believe me. Well, let's look at it under a microscope. And if you're one of those people that eat eggs, I advise you to watch this. Watch as he put the rooster booty up under the microscope. Prepare your eyes for what y'all are about to see. As y'all can see, worms having a block party.
Bro, let me say something. But this video, no matter what, I'm still going to eat eggs because it's crazy. I mean, I'm from a country where we do everything with eggs. So even if I see, how do you call it, a polar bear in the egg under a microscope, I'm still gonna eat egg. It's crazy, but then I can't stop eating eggs, bro. It's the cheapest protein. Like, from where I come from, this is the cheapest protein that you can get your hands on. So it's very crazy. Even if I see, I don't know, the most bizarre item ever, or the most bizarre creature ever in eggs, bro, still I can't stop. I'm still gonna eat eggs. So it's crazy. Let's get back to the video.
Y'all thought that I was capping when I was telling y'all there's little ass creatures inside the eggs. And I know it's gonna be somebody that's in the comments that say extra protein. It's all
Yeah,
funny
extra
games
protein,
until you
yeah.
all you can eat buffet.
Bro,
This is
still
probably
gonna
why
eat
they
it.
tell us to parasite cleanse 2 times a year. Because majority of the stuff that we eating got quagmire worms inside of them. It's all fun and games until you look at it under a microscope. But I'm curious, y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this video in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. Y'all let me know, is y'all eating eggs after this?
Obviously, yes.
If God didn't let them complete the Tower of Babel in the book of Genesis, what makes you think that we've gone to the moon? What makes you think that?
What's that? Which creature is that? It's crazy. The videos are truly creepy. What's happening with the leg?
Oh no! Holy crap! He just took a huge shit! Oh my god! He must be full of it! Look at the size of that dump! He just left a landfill!
Damn! Which creatures are these? Chimps or apes? This one looks white. Looks so weird. It doesn't look even like chimps. It looks like giants.
Jobs that can make you a billionaire. Doctor. Gamer. Model. Pilot. Author. Lawyer. CEO. Scientist. Celebrity.
Imagine being on a cruise in the Gulf of Mexico yesterday and seeing this shit.
What in the hell is that? Did you see that? Oh my god! Oh my god, it just went straight to the water. Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
Where'd it go?
I still see glowing in the water. It's glowing.
Now, folks that are observing this entire phenomenon witnessed it go into the water, and as you can hear the guy in the background say, it went into the water with no splash. And then the second person, the woman, the second one, I guess a friend, said, I can still see it glowing in the water. So that's a third observable, whereas transmedium, it goes from air to water. Very fascinating. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is probably one of the best UFO videos out in 2025. And if you like stuff like this, I'm always finding some of the best UFO clips and only bringing you what I believe is real.
Bro, why is there a lot of UFOs in the United States? It's crazy. Like, what is it at the United States that has, you know, makes it have a lot of UFOs? It's not normal, like, because you don't see it around anywhere. Like, you don't hear any other country or continent complain about a lot of UFOs, or probably we don't see it. But then it's crazy, like every UFO is channeled to the US. Like everything that about UFOs is something that we hear from the United States. This is crazy, and I don't know if you know anything about the reason why UFOs are moving around a lot in the United States. You should let me know in the comment section below. I'd like to know. Let's get back to the video.
Hit that follow button. I'll see you later. Peace.
Part 2, we're talking about this really good show and why it was mysteriously taken off the network, even though it was literally ranked #1. Now let's talk about it. So like I mentioned in part 1, the show is based on this young siren that comes on land looking for her sister after she was literally abducted by the Navy and the government. Now usually they're not even that close to the surface to where they can even get taken up, but it goes on to show the reason why they were swimming so close to the surface was because they were looking for food. The government and the Navy literally made this whole plan to where they was paying these like different fishing companies because they lived in a coastal town. So literally that the whole population was basically fishermen and worked in some type of something that had to do with seafood. So they were literally like paying these different companies and businesses to overfish, like paying these different companies a lot of money to overfish so they can starve out these sirens and they can come closer towards the surface so that the government can capture them. So that is why Ren was so close to the surface and her sister followed her. And her sister was the one that got captured. And they later on showed, you know, told the reason of why they even was that close. And that was why, because they were looking for food. So when her sister got captured, not only did she get captured, this boy that was on the boat got captured because he got hurt. So let me explain. The night their sister got captured, there was these young boys fishing with their dad on the boat at night. Like I said, they was paying these men to like fish day and night. They didn't know why, but it was just paying them good. So the night they was fishing, they, you know, got the net with all the fish in it, and they didn't know that it was this mermaid in it. They just know there was something big inside because it was so much fish in the net, it was covering the mermaid. They never got to physically see it, but it literally, whatever it was like literally like tearing them up on the boat. Like I'm talking about, like they couldn't even see it, and one of the boys got badly injured, and the government literally like got a helicopter, flew on their boat, took the boy and the mermaid. But like I said, they never got to physically see the mermaid, but they had an idea of what it was. So this whole time, these boys are looking for their friend because the government don't took him. He's nowhere to be found. He's not in any local hospital. And then they're trying to figure out what they took off that boat because they knew it had to be something for them to come over and get him and whatever it was on that boat. So Ren is on the hunt for her sister, and these boys are on the hunt for their friend, and they're in, the mermaid and the boy is in the same location. So it just get real, y'all. Y'all gotta stay tuned for part 3 because I'll be going on and on and on. But I'll be posting part 3 tomorrow.
Am I tripping, or is there a car in the sky?
Gods in different countries. America. Jesus Christ. Greece. Zeus. Japan. Amaterasu. Argentina. Sun God. Saudi Arabia. Allah. Indian. Shiva. Russia. Velas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What if I told you that the Kardashians' fame and fortune wasn't the result of luck, but that of witchcraft. Let me share with you the legend of Keiko Kardashian. This is apparently Keiko Kardashian. And the story goes that she was an ancestor of the Kardashians that lived in Armenia centuries ago. The story goes a few different ways. I've heard versions where she was, you know, not treated properly, and I've heard some versions where but she was apparently desperate for power. She ended up finding a secret coven of witches. She offered her soul in turn for beauty, wealth, power, and influence for her and all her descendants. Well, I guess just for her descendants. And that's where the Kardashians come in, of course. And now they have everything that I mentioned that Keiko gave her soul for. But there was apparently a price. And you may have heard of this, the Kardashian curse.
Yeah,
the theory
right.
is that men that get involved with this family face misfortune in their futures. Now, was that just a coincidence? Or was it all because of this apparent Keiko Kardashian? I would love to hear what you think. Please let me know. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.
Dog, I believe we stuck in time, bro. Check this out, right? So we live in a country where we trendsetters, right? We've been setting trends since like the 1940s, 1950s, right? Think about it. Look at the 1950s. Look at the 1960s. Look at the 1970s. Look at the 1980s. The 1990s. But after the 90s, bro, everything stopped. The world is like stuck in like a time loop or something like that. It's like from the year 2000 on, everything just, how can I say, recycled. We got stuff from the 50s, we got stuff from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And remember, in the year 1999, they said, you know, remember about Y2K and all that, and how the world was going to end? What if they didn't mean that in the physical sense? What if they meant it more metaphorical? You know what I'm saying? Everything we say, everything we do, you know, even the movies, it's like, you know, they created movies from back in the day. It could just be me, man, but if anybody else out there think about this, bro, let me know in the comments what y'all think, man. I know I could be, but like I said, let me know how y'all feel about this topic.
It's hitting the firmament. Look at it, scraping the firmament. Wow. They're really trying to go into the firmament right now and breaking through. Yeah. Two of them are trying to get through the firmament. I don't know if it's going to happen. This is incredible. Two rockets are scraping the firmament right now. Unbelievable.
Gabe.
Quiet. Quiet.
How is this possible? What's going on? Bro, it's taking steps. scared that something creepy will happen.
Let me be specific. Anything I say tonight is allegedly, bitch. I don't know shit, I just live here talking. I love Jamie Foxx, let me say that. I love Jamie Foxx. But his motherfucking clone. His clone ain't shit. His clone kept on messing up. The clone showed up with a face full of freckles. We ain't never even seen Jamie Foxx with freckles, bitch. This clone is stupid as hell. The clone didn't even have a tattoo on the back of his head. I couldn't believe it. I watched the whole thing twice. I still don't know what had happened was.
You cannot be affected positively or negatively by anyone. You are your own reality. Whatever you experience is being experienced made out of your own energy because you have agreed to match a frequency that they may be offering to you. But they can't affect you directly. You have to affect yourself because you have a belief that says, I should match your frequency for some reason or another, positively or negatively. You're only ever, always experiencing your own energy. You cannot experience anyone else's. You are your own reality with its own energy, and you decide how you will experience that energy by your belief saying, I want to match or not match this particular frequency that this other person is offering me. I will match it or I won't for my own reasons. But no matter what those reasons are, positive or negative, you are always only experiencing your own energy and can change it like that.
Religion was never about salvation, it was about control. They took the truth and hid it in plain sight, twisting the words, distorting the meanings, and casting spells with language itself. Look at the word religion. It comes from the Latin religare, meaning to bind, to restrain. Religion was never about freeing your soul. It was about tying it down, locking you into a system where you hand over your power in exchange for false promises.
Makes sense.
They told you to pray, turning you into prey for their system. They gave you a gospel, which became a God spell, hypnotizing generations into obedience. They told you to worship, but hidden within is worship, because religion has been the foundation of countless wars, fueled by division and fear. They trained you to believe, but within that word is lie, because belief is not knowing, it is submission. And who controlled this narrative? The kings, the elites, the church, men like King James, who did not write the Bible, but commissioned his version, shaping it to serve his own agenda. This was a man with darkness in his heart, a man who hunted children in the Black Forest and had them over for dinner, in the most literal, horrifying sense. The same rituals they called sacrifice then, they now call abortion. The methods changed, the agenda remains. They took the healing and turned it into control. Look at the cathedrals, or rather cathodes. These structures were once healing centers, harnessing the natural frequencies of the earth. Their great domes and spires acted like tuning forks, channeling energy, restoring balance. The bells were not just for sound. They generated frequency, aligning the human body with the earth's resonance. These were places of healing, rejuvenation, and connection to higher realms. So what did they do? They hijacked them. They stripped away the knowledge and turned these grand structures into worship centers. They silenced the bells, cut off the energy, and replaced healing with prayer, turning people into prey once again. The very places that once restored the body and mind were transformed into monuments of control, forcing people to bow instead of rise. They monopolized faith. They created a system where you pay for salvation, where spiritual growth comes with a price tag. The Vatican sits on trillions, while the faithful struggle, believing suffering is holy. But suffering was never part of the divine plan. It was manufactured. And yet, the truth cannot be buried forever. Jesus sees us. The Christ was never meant to be one man on a cross. It is consciousness itself. The kingdom of God was never meant to be in a church. It is within you. But they told you that you were fallen, that you were broken, that you needed a savior, when in reality, you were always the light. And now the shift is happening. the return of the divine feminine, the awakening of the woman of faith. Not a faithful woman, but a woman who knows. The energy they suppressed is rising again. The balance is restoring. The bells will ring again, not in churches, but in the hearts of those who remember. The coming event will tear down the illusion. The meek shall inherit the earth. But meek does not mean weak. It means those who see but do not seek control. Those who know but do not boast. The old world is crumbling, and those who have eyes to see will have a choice: cling to the lie or awaken to the truth. Religion was the cage, but truth is the key. The question is, when the door is open, will you walk through?
Why are they running? They said somebody shooting.
What is going on?
Shootings happening in the US. So it's crazy.
There's a shooting? There's a freaking shooting in there. Inside the Omni? Yes. Inside the Omni?
Yes.
Are you serious? Yeah, they're saying they're shooting inside the Omni, but I don't know what end because I don't hear nothing.
Dude, honestly,
she was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage. She needed to rehabilitate her image.
You and your brother both directly asked your dad not to marry Camilla.
Yes.
FBI agents reportedly stormed Queen Camilla's estate, exposing a hidden conspiracy that finally proved Diana's death was no accident. Diana's secret letters, underground tunnels packed with classified files, dust-covered chests held ancient jewelry and coded documents, while old surveillance photos revealed decades of royal family tracking. What terrible secrets has Camilla been hiding behind those elegant walls? And will these discoveries bring down the British monarchy once and for all? Join us as we uncover what investigators found in Queen Camilla's mansion that has left everyone shocked. Hidden chambers and Diana's secret letters. A chilly evening in the English countryside took a jaw-dropping turn when FBI agents showed up at Queen Camilla's private estate. Their black SUVs rumbled up the long driveway of Ray Mill House, headlights piercing through the thick fog that so often blankets the British countryside. But they weren't there for polite conversation. Armed with search warrants and determined expressions, they marched straight to the grand front doors of Camilla's secluded retreat from the chaos of Buckingham Palace. The butler who answered the door looked stunned, his face draining of color. American agents at a royal residence? That was unheard of. In all his years working at the mansion, he had never seen anything remotely like this. Without a word, he stepped aside, letting them into the grand marble-floored entrance hall, where chandeliers sparkled overhead. The search started like any other, with agents combing through drawers, peering behind paintings, and inspecting the lavish furniture. At first glance, everything seemed normal, just the kind of opulence you'd expect in a royal home. But then, in the study, something caught an agent's eye, a bookshelf that didn't quite sit flush against the wall. Curious, he tugged on one of the books. A faint creak broke the silence. The team pushed on the shelf, and with a deep groan, it slowly swung open, revealing a dark, hidden passage. Inside was a small, ice-cold room thick with dust, as if it hadn't been touched in years. Stacks of old letters, wooden chests, and small locked boxes covered the space. But the real shock came when agents noticed the name scrawled across many of the papers: Princess Diana.
Letters, there's 35 of them, 32 of them that have come about from Princess Diana writing between 1995 and 1996.
These weren't just any letters. Some were dated mere weeks before her tragic crash in Paris. The handwriting looked rushed, almost frantic. Agents handled the papers carefully, aware they could be holding evidence of long-buried royal secrets. Among the documents, they found something else: jewelry that didn't match any known royal collection. Some pieces appeared to be ancient heirlooms, supposedly lost centuries ago. Others seemed to be gifts from powerful figures whose ties to the royal family had never been made public. But the most chilling discovery...
We've come to the end. This was so interesting. I didn't even know it was going to end like this, but then yeah, we've come to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and also share with your friends, and also click on the notification bell icon so that any video that I post, you will be the first to get it. I hope you enjoyed it. Adios amigos, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.